facing the police every single day.
Say hi, Andy. I'm recording you. I got you.
Ocean City cops are not people.
Yes, they are. You know what's really criminal?
What's that?
Those knee-high socks.
I know, but that's what the brown shirts wore.
Starting with a YouTuber with a reputation for confrontation with police around the nation, he's in Cape Coral tonight, now facing a criminal charge, and it's raising questions about free speech and the burdens officers face when people bent on making a point and going viral draw officers' attention and resources away from the rest of the community. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Patrick Nolan. Fox 4's Lauren Moss at the Cape Coral Fire Station where this all unfolded. Lauren?
Patrick, the incident happened here last week when police responded to a call from a Cape Coral firefighter of a man hiding behind trees with a rifle case. According to the police report, Cape Coral Fire Station 11 went into lockdown after seeing the man peeking around trees. One witness stated he feared for his life. Another said he feared for the safety of his crew of firefighters. The man at the center of the report is Floyd Wallace. He is a YouTuber who's made a name for himself by clashing with law enforcement around the country and recording his encounters with officers. His video of what happened in Cape Coral racked up 18,000 views. He says the incident stemmed from him exercising his First Amendment right and refusal to provide his ID. And as he's done with his previous encounters with other departments, he blamed the police.
And the police had came out aggressively from the jump. I know in my mind that I committed no crimes that day. I complied once the officer said I was detained.
In the video, Wallace can be seen holding a black case. In their report, Cape Coral referred to it as a rifle case. To get you some deeper perspective, I reached out to a former law enforcement officer not associated with this case, Walt Zielinski. He looked at the video and said police had cause for concern.
I mean, we have too many shootings in public, you know, and they have every right to stop this individual. They have every right to search that rifle case to see if there's a weapon there and to question that individual.
The police report says, quote, it was believed that the male may possibly be wanting to ambush arriving police officers. Once police arrived at the scene, the reporting officer drew his gun, asked Wallace to drop the case. I asked an instructor from the local police academy to watch the video and give her take on the police's actions.
They make very clear what their wishes are, their demands. They don't react too quickly or too slowly. Once they had sufficient personnel there, they started to move in, again articulating very, very clearly what they expected.
Wallace claims once the officer stated why he was being detained, he dropped the case. The reporting officer says Wallace's continued failure to listen to commands is why he deployed his taser. Wallace says he was on his knees with one hand in the air, the other holding his phone when he was tased.
I believe those police officers are wrong for what they did to me, and I think they're just trying to cover up.
Arway says in this incident, the officer did the right thing.
The result, I think, speaks volumes. They were safe, the individual was safe, the fire department was able to reopen and provide critical services to the city of Cape Coral.
Wallace was arrested and charged with resisting without violence. He will be expected to be in a Lee County courtroom on January 25th. He says he will continue exercising his First Amendment right in the area until his court date. In Cape Coral, I'm Lauren Moss, Fox 4.
Lauren also asked for comment from Cape Coral Police. We wanted to know what kinds of challenges situations like this create for them as they have to tend to the safety needs of Southwest Florida's largest city. They declined to answer specific questions. They did provide the police report. It was redacted. Lauren has also requested the police department's body cam footage from that incident to see it from their perspective. Police say that could take up to 30 days to release that footage.
Self-described First Amendment auditor tossed by Cape Coral Police outside Fire Department. Michael Braun. Fort Myers News Press. A Nebraska man who said he was only trying to perform his constitutional rights was tossed by Cape Coral Police outside a fire station on Burnt Store Road. A cell phone recording of the Wednesday incident that was posted to YouTube shows Floyd L. Wallace Jr., 26, of Omaha, Nebraska, walking in front of fire station number 11 carrying a black, zippered case. Wallace recorded the incident on his cell phone. About 18 minutes into the nearly 24-minute video, Cape Coral police units arrive, order Wallace to drop his case and turn around, and eventually one officer shoots him with a taser. A Cape Coral police representative confirmed there was an active investigation into the incident and said it involved use of force. A request for the arrest report was fulfilled. Copies of the officer's body cam footage was being processed, police said. Wallace has been arrested a number of times in similar situations in multiple jurisdictions. On a Facebook page, Omaha COPWA YouTube, similar videos show Wallace's activities. "I exercise my constitutional rights," he said Thursday. Although he declined to talk about previous incidents, Wallace said he has never been convicted and had been doing this kind of activity for a couple of years. However, coverage of Wallace's activities did include a 10-day jail sentence he served in March 2016 for a similar occurrence in Douglas County, Nebraska. "I was taking pictures and they came out with guns drawn," he said of the Wednesday afternoon Cape Coral incident. In his video, Wallace does drop the case as ordered, but instead of turning around can be clearly heard asking if he was being detained and why. One officer can be heard saying he was a robbery suspect. Wallace expressed surprise, counters that he is unarmed, that he's dropped the case and that he wasn't doing anything. As officers approach him with guns and tasers drawn and order him to turn around, Wallace declines and asks to be told why he is being stopped. An officer tases him and the video captures Wallace's painful reaction to the electrical charge. In the aftermath, an officer can be heard telling Wallace he had unnerved people and calls the item he was carrying a rifle case. Floyd L. Wallace Jr. An officer on Wallace's video can also be heard saying Wallace was a First Amendment auditor. Such auditors are known to film on public property and at law enforcement locations such as police stations to test rights to film in a public space. Wallace was booked Wednesday evening on a resisting arrest without violence misdemeanor charge and released Thursday morning shortly after 1:30. His arraignment is scheduled for January 25. As officers approach him with guns and tasers drawn and order him to turn around, Wallace declines and asks to be told why he is being stopped. An officer tases him and the video captures Wallace's painful reaction to the electrical charge. In the aftermath, an officer can be heard telling Wallace he had unnerved people and calls the item he was carrying a rifle case. Floyd L. Wallace Jr. An officer on Wallace's video can also be heard saying Wallace was a First Amendment auditor. Such auditors are known to film on public property and at law enforcement locations such as police stations to test rights to film in a public space. Wallace was booked Wednesday evening on a resisting arrest without violence misdemeanor charge and released Thursday morning shortly after 1:30. His arraignment is scheduled for January 25. The report also said police described what Wallace was carrying as a soft material rifle case and a soft material handgun holster and matched his description to the suspect in a Tuesday armed robbery at a Cape Coral convenience store. "I just got here," Wallace said Thursday. "I have the plane tickets to prove it. I showed the detectives the plane ticket. I was black. That's what happened." The police report said officers approached Wallace with guns drawn, with one officer switching his service weapon out for a taser. Wallace, who requested and received an examination on scene by a Cape Coral EMS unit, said he has not yet decided what to do. "I believe this will be dismissed," he said.